Happy New Year, Hungary. On behalf of the United States, I offer you my warmest wishes for a joyful, safe, and prosperous 2020. The new year is a good time to reflect before looking forward together. Hungary and the United States have accomplished so much in 2019. Our countries have significantly deepened our long and historic ties in every sector: economic, political, security, cultural, and more. In February, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visited Hungary, the first Secretary of State to visit since 2011. He met with many Hungarians, including civil society leaders, and discussed the bilateral relationship with leaders of the Hungarian government. In April, I was so pleased to witness the signing of the Defense Cooperation Agreement in Washington. The DCA modernized our previous agreement to reflect new realities in defense and allows our militaries to more closely cooperate and partner in important ways. As we have known now for 2 decades, the United States, NATO, and Hungary are stronger because we have each other as allies to face common threats. In May, Prime Minister Orbán met with President Trump at the White House. The Prime Minister commented that it had been a long time since he had visited, and President Trump and Prime Minister Orbán took the opportunity to become better acquainted with each other and to deepen the ties between our countries. It was a very good visit, and I'm pleased that it showed how our relationship is strengthening. In June, I truly enjoyed leading the delegation of 13 companies and organizations represented by 18 people to Select USA, a summit in Washington, D.C., where business leaders showcase their investment opportunities and bring investors from around the world and U.S. locations together. This was one example of how we're increasing our bilateral trade and investment relationship. Another was the November franchise trade mission that brought 10 U.S. companies seeking Hungarian partners for franchising opportunities to bring some of the most famous American brands in food, fitness, and more to Hungary. U.S. companies support over 105,000 jobs in Hungary, and on an annual basis, the trade in goods and services between our countries is valued at $5.3 billion, or 1.5 trillion forints. We have also cooperated closely with Hungary on other issues. For example, we've worked together to advance shared priorities in the Middle East. Hungary has raised its voice in the European Union and the United Nations against those that would unfairly criticize Israel, which the United States appreciates. In March, less than a year after the United States moved its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, Hungary opened a trade mission in Jerusalem, the first European diplomatic mission to open there in decades. In November, the United States Embassy and the Hungarian government co-hosted a Thanksgiving dinner to mark our cooperation through a memorandum of understanding signed by our governments to provide assistance to help persecuted religious minorities in the Middle East. The people-to-people connections between the Hungarian and American people remain as strong as ever, and this is reflected in the enthusiasm of young Hungarian students and professionals to experience life in America. Last year, over 300 Hungarian students qualified for visas to further their education at U.S. colleges and universities. Nearly 2,500 Hungarians took part in educational, cultural, and academic exchanges, including over 1,500 young people in the popular summer work travel program, the highest number in over 3 years. And this year, as of November, we have seen a 6% increase in Hungarian travelers to the United States. This is not to say that we don't have ambitious goals for the upcoming year, or that everything is perfect in our relations, and that we always agree. In all relationships, there are differences of views, and where more can be done to deepen the ties. The United States is committed to further strengthening our bond with Hungary, and I am focused on working with the Hungarian government to achieve results in our alliance in several key areas, including to address threats to our shared security from Russia and China. We will work together to further deepen our security cooperation, including supporting the modernization of Hungary's armed forces through the procurement of the most effective NATO-compatible defense systems. We will continue our efforts to help Hungary diversify its sources of energy so that our fellow NATO member is less dependent on Russia. We will continue to urge our Hungarian allies to stand united with us and the rest of NATO in supporting Ukraine in the face of Russia's continued aggression. And we will seek to further increase trade and investment between the U.S. and Hungary to the mutual benefit of our entrepreneurs and job seekers. We look forward to celebrating the 25th anniversary of the International Law Enforcement Academy in Budapest in 2020, and its continued success in training law enforcement officers from countries across Europe and Central Asia. As we celebrate together, I am confident that 2020 will be a meaningful year, and I look forward to working together with the people of Hungary as partners in pursuit of an even stronger alliance. Thank you, and I wish everyone a happy new year and a prosperous and healthy year as well.